What is coercive control? Coercive control is when someone, the abuser, repeatedly behaves in a way which makes a person, the victim, feel fearful, isolated, dependent, depressed, as well as many other feelings. Coercive control creates a sense of fear, isolation, worthlessness, and dependency on the abuser. Coercive control is abuse. Victims of coercive control can experience long-term mental health issues and post-traumatic stress disorder. In the most severe cases, victims have taken their own lives. Coercive control looks like power. Make the victim comply with something they don't want to do by force or punishment. Gaslighting makes the victim's perception of reality repeatedly undermined or questioned by the abuser. Love bombing and bombardment. This is where the abuser uses grand gestures like gifts, compliments, and affection to manipulate their victims. Manipulation and isolation. Through manipulation, a victim can be isolated from friends and family to keep the relationship a secret. Things people say about victims of abuse.
How could you let that happen to you? That would never happen to me. Are you stupid? That doesn't really happen to people, does it? Surely you knew. Did you not see the signs?
Victims are shamed into silence. It might sound like we're talking about domestic abuse. We're not. We're talking about coercive control in fraud, scams, and financial abuse. Fraud, scams, and financial abuse are crimes, and the people behind these crimes are criminals. More than 3/4 of UK adults said they were targeted by fraud or scams in 2022. 79% of victims of fraud, scams, and financial abuse experience a negative emotional impact. These criminals use coercive control to gain trust, personal information, money. These criminals can be very friendly, charming, and attentive, but they can also be controlling, threatening, and forceful. These criminals use phrases like,
If you loved or trusted me, as you say you do, you send me the money. Your family won't understand. You won't get your win or your money back. People get jealous and try to take your fortune.
This behaviour isolates victims, making a victim feel guilty, dependent, pressured, leading to situations like these.
You are now my home. To avoid any loss, I'm registering this form now. So sorry. So if I'm not too late, please can we start again? Will you write me again? And I'll send you the £30.
Being a victim of fraud, scams, and financial abuse can destroy aspects of victims' lives, including their health, well-being, employment, relationships. Victims are made to feel ashamed, embarrassed, fearful of reactions, afraid of reporting. Victims of fraud, scams, and financial abuse are wrongly labelled as naive, stupid, or greedy. These people are victims of coercive control and crime. In one victim's experience,
people said, "You're stupid for letting this happen. It's your fault. It was horrible when I felt suicidal." People should be giving constructive feedback, not sit there and put you down.
anyone can be a victim of fraud, scams, and financial abuse. There is a scam out there for everyone. The approach to victims of fraud, scams, and financial abuse needs to change. The blame should be on the criminals, and victims need to be better supported. Unless we act, fraud, scams, and financial abuse will continue to increase. The time to act is now. You can make a difference. Talk about fraud, scams, and financial abuse with your friends and family to help break the stigma. If someone shares their story, offer understanding and support. Do not judge or criticise. Encourage victims to report the crime. There is no shame in being a victim. Anyone can be a victim.